It was reInvent last week, and one of the most exciting new announcements was a feature of Amazon Bedrock called Agents. What is Agents? I'm glad I asked. It is a new feature that allows you to build a AI agent, so that way you can not only answer questions via this conversational, but also you can configure the agents to automate things on your behalf. So yes, it can answer questions and give information to the human prompting it, but it can also take real world action and automate stuff based on what that human is telling the agent to do. So I've built a quick example to show you what this looks like. All you need to do this is an open API spec for whatever API you want to hit with the agent to automate that thing you want to automate, and a Lambda function with the code to execute that automation. So for me, as an example, I have a Lambda function that writes to a DynamoDB database and then sends an email notification via an SNS topic. Let's see it in action. So I have a very simple Streamlit interface with which I can prompt the agent. So I'm going to start by asking it, what are some features of Flux 3000? Flux 3000, by the way, is a fake product that I made up. I generated some PDF documents so that way I could reference those with this knowledge base piece of the agent. So I asked it, what are some features of Flux 3000? And it read those PDF documents and used that as context to prompt the LLM within Bedrock and answer my question. Now, there's a specific feature I could probe further on here called Guaranteed Connect. So I can just ask to show you that it is actually reading that document. What is Guaranteed Connect? And now it's going to ask a follow-up question. Again, basically allowing you to search with conversational text any document that you can upload into AWS. Now that's cool, but what's even cooler is that you can now automate actual actions, not just get information to read, but automate things in the real world. So I've configured this particular agent to create new feature requests. So I'm going to ask it to do just that. So I've said, create a new feature request for a company named AnyCompany 678. Now, what's interesting is that's not enough information to make the call to create the feature request. It needs a name and a description for the feature request. So it's going to follow up and say, that's great, but in order to do this, I need a feature request name and a description. So let me provide that real quick. So I've just given it the information it needs to make the API call to actually create that new feature request. So it's going to use this in the actual JSON request it sends to the API. Again, all this is happening via me just chatting with a chatbot saying, I'd like you to create a feature request. I could see this working for feature requests, bug requests. I'm not in support anymore, but there's a lot of tedious things that you'd like to automate if you're a support engineer. And so I think this is going to be amazing for that particular type of use case. So anywho, it just created a feature request. Let's take a look to prove that that actually happened. So if I go to my DynamoDB database that I was writing that feature request to, and I just search on the request ID that I was given back, you can see right here, the request was created with the customer name, AnyCompany 678, as specified in that prompt. And it's the best feature in the whole wide world. Again, how is this happening? This is happening via the Bedrock Agent service, being aware of the structure of the API, because I told it about it by giving it an open API specification. And I also programmed a Lambda function to actually create and update feature requests in a DynamoDB database. I will publish this code very shortly if you want to use this demo or build something similar, build your own Bedrock agent. Check that out on YouTube if you want to get hands-on and start building with Bedrock agents yourself. But in the meantime, I hope this has been helpful and informative, and have fun building.